Good evening. Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. I think I'm going to be publishing this in the morning. So, happy Pranic Sunday. So for today, I'm doing this video and I'm recording it in advance, specifically because I'll be in a pranic initiation over the weekend. So that's a 4-day dry fast, which you'll have seen me post about. It's really cool. 24 workshops, 12 co-hosts. It's a really beautiful held space, so have a look at that if you haven't before. I'll make sure I link it in the bio, but it's from the website mypranicfamily.com. Anyway, so I'm taking a little break from social media is the point of why I was saying that. I'm just out for a walk at the sunset, and I'm a little bit sniffly. Right, some people are feeling a little bit sinusy, a little bit sniffly right now. Some people are experiencing hay fever, some people are experiencing other things, but it's all kind of coming down to this sinuses area, right? And we've been speaking about this quite a bit in some of the interviews that you may have seen posted that I've done this week, and what the angels have brought through on the channel's guidance, right, on Friday. But it's really interesting because when we have anything that's like eclipse season, will really bring through things that we need to shift and clear, right? And the focus is on anything intuitive, right? So we've got a lot of clearing. Apologies for all the vehicles. Got a lot of clearing around, around here, around your eyes, around your nose, your sinus, the mouth of God chakra, right, the zeal chakra. Some people call that the altar major. But around here, a lot of stuff is clearing, right, because eclipses is a soul rebirth. And anything that we have stored on a mental level, so it's any false beliefs, false templates that we've stored that we aren't aware of, right, they show up physically, right? Anything that we ignore, any thought that is misaligned with our highest truth, we ignore it. We then feel emotion, and the emotion tells us whether we're in line with what our higher self believes or not. And if we ignore that long enough, it becomes a physical symptom. Now, for those that have experienced hay fever or asthma or anything like that throughout most of their life, if not all of their life, we can kind of ask, well, how does that develop? Because I've had that since being, a baby. And it's very much linked to the mother wound, right? And Melissa and I had great fun going into this in last week's From Illusion to Love content, as we did lots of healing on it. But one of the things that came up was allergies, hay fever, right? Because it's kind of like we are rejecting the physicality. It's frustrating for us to be in this physical nature. Now, what's really interesting about that is that, consciously we might not think, oh, I don't want to be here. Or consciously we might not think, oh, I don't like my body, or I don't like this earth. But on some level we're feeling resistance to it. On some level we're feeling, oh, we've got a thought or a belief that is charged in the way that isn't in alignment, right? It's not in alignment with what our higher self believes. And especially when we go to the superconscious level, we realize that we've created this earth, we create everything in our own world, right? And when you look at it from a non-duality aspect as well, we start to go into why a certain belief or a story has been formed, because we are constantly creating stories around things. Anytime we say something and there is a because or a but or anything like that, there is a story. So anyway, even in saying this, the sniffling that I've had has kind of subsided quite a bit. Because what I wanted to bring through today, what I wanted to share with you, a very simple practice. And this is something I got from the NATE practice. So NATE is advanced kinesiology, where you can reprogram your body to not be allergic to things. But the first thing I want to do is, if you at any point are feeling a physical sensation, a physical symptom, regardless as to what it is, but let's just take, for example, allergies, right? Say you're experiencing allergies or hay fever. Usually we have a tendency to kind of feel frustrated when we're feeling that, because we can't control the fluids in our body, we can't control the feeling that we're having. We're sneezing uncontrollably, unconditionally, right? You're just, sneezing, we're not in control of that. And then we feel like the body is producing liquids that we can't control. And we're like, oh shoot, what do we do? Some of us take an antihistamine, we try and numb that, we try and block the receptors in our body, we look at it on a purely physical level. But really, let's take it deeper. Now let's take it deeper. Can we sit with it? Can we be present with it? Can we soothe and allow, and when I say soothe, I don't mean hush it up or numb it. as is how we've done that before. We often do that with any type of medication if we have ever taken medication for something. But instead of doing that, can we sit with it and can we just listen to what the medicine that we're being offered by that reaction is? What's happened? What emotion has triggered it? Because everything, especially hay fever and things like that and allergies, generally are an emotional reaction, an emotion that we're not allowing to move through us, that is getting triggered, that is, catalyzing a response. So can we sit with it? Instead of getting frustrated by the uncontrollable nature of how an allergy will show up, can we allow ourselves to breathe deeply, as deep as possible? Obviously, if it's hay fever, then your nasal passage is probably a little challenged. But can we sit with it with our hands on our heart and thank it? Can we thank it for showing up? Can we thank it for showing up? Thank the body for showing us where there is a gap, where there is a false belief present, one that we can't see because it's a shadow, right? It's unconscious or even subconscious. It's below the level of consciousness, below our capacity to view it with the mind and understand it. Right? So can we bring it to our heart space? Because if we can bring anything to our heart space, that's really good. Because then we're connecting with the cosmic heart, we're connecting with our source energy, with our superconscious nature, right? If we try and look at it purely analytically, we end up going down a very linear route, and we never actually get to the base of it to actually heal it properly. We just numb something, or we just kind of react. But we don't want to react. We want to respond. We want to nurture. We want to heal, right? So, as I sniffle, although I'm probably going to blow my nose at some point soon, instead of getting frustrated that it's that everything's making me sneeze or whatever it is, I go, okay, thank you. Thank you, lymphatic system, thank you, nervous system, for showing me that there is a belief somewhere so unconscious to me that I don't consciously know it, for showing me that and showing me that there is a gap between what I believe on a mind level, on a mental level, and what my higher self knows to be true. Thank you for showing me that medicine. Because when we recognize it in that way, we're able to bridge that gap and to bring love, integration and compassion to it. But I also want to show you one other trick, and this is the trick that I learned from Nate. And for anyone that knew me prior to 2019, you'll have known that I was like full-blown celiac, allergic to pretty much everything that I could consume, like on a food level, water, sunlight, literally everything would cause a reaction to me, until I went through a very incredible, to me at that point in my spiritual evolution, miraculous healing of all these allergies, right? And that's a process that you can find. You can Google it and find a practitioner if it calls to you, right? And that's N-A-E-T, Nate. But I'm going to show you just something that my practitioner taught me. I'm going to hope that you can hear me. You might not be able to, but there are pressure points on our body, down the spine as well, but there are pressure points on our body that we can activate if we are feeling like energy is blocked. And if energy is blocked, that means we're probably going to have a physical symptom. So if there is a physical symptom showing up, we've got the sun just beaming down on us right now as well, so I hope you can still see me. But starting with your right hand, this point here, if you push into it and wiggle around for about 10-20 seconds. Probably hurts a little bit if you've got blocked energy, if you're having a physical response. And then you move to your inside elbow. So my hand is flat, and there, right there, you'll feel the point because it'll hurt. And you push in there, wiggle it around a little bit, allow the energy to unblock, and do the same on the opposite arm. So inside elbow, hand is down, inside elbow, right? And then this part again on the left hand. And we're going to do the same thing on our legs. So on the inside of your calf, the inside front, can't really show you in a great way here, but kind of like, you can't really see my leg if I lift it up either, just because of how I've got this propped up. But if your leg is kind of like, say that's your foot, it's like the inside part there. So just above your ankle, with about 6 inches above your ankle. I'll see if there's a photograph I can link with this video. You're going to push there. And then where your big toe connects with your, next to your big toe, whatever that's called, kind of like if that's where your toes are, that's the next point there. Okay, you're going to do that, but on your left foot, and the same on your right foot, and then up your ankle again on the inside front of your ankle. You'll feel the point. I will try and find an image to show you this in a better way, because this is not the best way to show you. But this is really great for anyone experiencing allergies. And then finish, by the way. You have to finish back where you started, right here. So you've completed a cycle, a circuit. But doing that actually helps your body reset its own energy and unblock whatever is getting stuck there. And it helps alleviate any physical symptom. So I definitely say first sit with it, thank it, and just be with whatever energy is moving through you or wanting to move through you. But then if you do really need to alleviate something, that's a really great way to do it. I will try and find an image to show you that in a better way. Something else that you could do as well is just have someone go down your spine, kind of like with 2 fingers that far apart, just go down the spine, either side of your spine, a few times over, you know. Anyway, I hope you are all having a wonderful weekend, enjoying the eclipse energy. For those that are joining me on the Pranic initiation, the introduction to Breatharianism, welcome. And yeah, and I will see you all next week. So much love. Mwah. Bye.